I don't drink coffee, so this was a sacrificial $5.30 to buy this, but this is what we're going to make our biogas stove out of, because it's got the plastic lid and it's made of metal, and we can punch the holes for the gas on the other side. So couldn't find a Nido can, but this is pretty good size for it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is get rid of this noxious substance, this roasted bean called coffee, because I don't need it, and pour it in my pour it in here. Hopefully not make a mess. I'm making a mess, look at that. And it's not big enough. Well, the rest of it can go in the garbage, I guess, actually, because I don't care for this. Anyway, we'll get to you, and we'll put this on pause. So, okay, so once that's done, and this would be great. You can feed the coffee to your biodigester. So if you don't want to drink it, like I don't, because I think it's awful, then feed it to the biodigester. They can handle it. The microbes can handle it better than you can. Anyway, you're going to have this. Let's not leave trash around. You can drop that back in and use it, put the lid back on. And that's going to be the bottom of the can. And then we want to start punching holes in it. That's a fun part. You can get out your aggression if you have a sharp enough knife. I'm actually going to need 2 hands to do this, so excuse me while I punch holes. So actually using a nail and a hammer is easier than using a knife. I've used a knife in the past, and if that's all you got, you can do it, but it is better to just hammer little holes in and do it in a circle. Since I don't have more than 2 hands to do this, I can't really show you. Unless I do some weird kind of thing like this, and then, because I know it's fun to see process, even if it's awkward. So just keep going around like that, just and so you can make as many rings as you want. I think that I think it's okay. Just you could make a ring out here as well. Maybe I'll do that later, but this should be fine to give the flame under the pot the way it's supposed to be. And so you're mostly done. Now what you want to do is you want to punch a hole down at the bottom to put the gas pipe in. This is what's going to go in this side for carrying the gas in. So punch a hole for this. I'm going to use the little CV sign here because it's just the right size, so that'll be my guide for punching the hole. So what I did is I just used the nail to punch holes around here to make it weaker, and then I hammer this in. So just bang on that so it finds its way in. I can even, and then what you're left with is there. So we want that to go to the center so that the flame can go in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill this with stones. That's what we're going to do. We'll fill this with stones as a flame spreader, and then the plastic hose is going to fit right on here, and that makes the stove when it's turned over. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to have a hose that's 5 inches by 1/2, 5/8 inch by 1/2, and I think you can see that there. And then you need another one that's 1 size larger, which is the 3/4. And so you will, let me pause this. So with the 3/4 by 5/8, you'll want to cut about 6 inches off of that. And that is going to go slip onto here. So that fits. So that's that. And then the 1/2 inch by 5/8 is going to slip inside here. And that's that part of it. So I don't have any stones. You can use stones, but I have these clay pellets, and they'll be fine as a flame spreader. Just fine indeed. Anything that can spread the flame will work. And I mean, the clay pellets are nice and lightweight, so that is one advantage of using clay pellets. And I filled the can about halfway because it's going to be upside down, and then I put that on, and that's my stove, and we will test it with the biogas in a second. The next step is that you want 2 pieces of 1/2-inch pipe, and we have this female threaded to female slip 1/2-inch and barbed connector, and so we're connecting these, and you then just put that onto there. I'll show you when I get it done. And then, yeah.
Hickory sweet bacon, Cabot yogurt, Winn-Dixie cheese.
Yep.
You love your dairy products.
Oh yeah. I love dairy.
Keep this receipt, or is it garbage?
So what you end up having is this 1/2-inch pipe here going halfway through into a 3/4 inch by 5/8 inch piece of tubing that then connects with a 1/2 inch by 5/8 inch piece of tubing that again goes to the barbed connector 1/2 inch, and then to the female threaded to slip, then to a piece of 1/2 inch PVC pipe, then to a 1/2 inch valve, another piece of PVC 1/2 inch going into the slip side, to the threaded side of a 1/2 inch adapter, into another barbed connector, and then into the 1/2 inch hose, and that hose is going to go out to the biodigester, and that means you can turn on the gas from right here, and you can play with the placement of this if you want. That is completely up to you. And then the last piece of the puzzle is to find something that you can put the pot onto. Now, it's not absolutely necessary to have this. You could put the pot on here, but then it covers the flame and the flame goes out. If it's a larger pot, then that little lip may let enough air in, but doubtful. So we've always tried to look for something that can raise it up just a little bit, and this might be a little too much of a gap here, in which case you'd raise the stove up a little bit. So that's something you're going to have to adjust. But now let's go and connect it to the biodigester. So the finished stove then is got this 1/2 inch pipe, and then to the 3/4, 5/8 inch hose, and then a 1/2 inch hose, barbed connector, a female threaded slip connector, a valve, pieces of PVC, another adapter, and then go into the barb, and then it goes along the floor here, and at every junction, because these 1/2 inch hoses are only 10 feet long, we have a 3/4 inch piece as the joiner, and that usually produces a pretty good gas seal there. And so we've got a couple of these, about 4 of these going about 40 feet down until we get into the backyard. And once again, you can see here the piece here that we've cut for about 6 inches to connect the 1/2 inch through the 3/4 to the 1/2 inch. And then when we get back to the final piece, then we are connecting it to the hose that came with the home biogas system, which is too small, so we have a hose clamp clamping it down there, and then that goes to the valve, and then the valve goes to the actual biogas bag, which is filled with biogas, as you can see here. And we started this system on Ridex and Septipack microbes, and now it's nice and full. I don't have the sandbags. These are sandbags that are supposed to go on it to produce weight, so I'm just going to apply a little weight using a little bag of soil, and that weight then pushes the gas that comes from here through this yellow pipe here and to the kitchen. So now you can actually see steam condensate. That shows that the biogas is actually flowing through this right now, and we can actually follow the steam as it makes its way along. And so the gas is coming through and into the kitchen. And now, at some point, it's going to be here. There we go. So we have our first flame. Now the pressure isn't extreme right now because I haven't put a lot of weight on it, but you can definitely see that we could cook on this. Maybe I'll go apply a little more weight on it to get a higher flame, but it is very, very pretty. And then I'm going to put this on top so that we can cook. And yeah, it's very pretty. So there's the beautiful flame there, and there's the bacon. And just so as not to mislead you, remove the plastic wrapper or it will eventually burn and cause smoke. So you want a good metal can. So take that off.
Burning.
I know it was this. And now you've got a good stove.
Alright, we're gonna go buy it right now.
So I put another bottle of potting mix on here. This was a good weight, but it wasn't enough weight. I'm going to fill the sandbags that come with it eventually. But now that I have that on there, if I follow it through, you should have a much higher flame. Let's see. Yes, we do. So there you go. So a nice, beautiful biogas flame for cooking on. And can you smell the bacon? So that is great. So yeah, we'd like to thank Dominic Wanjihia Kahumbu from Simply Biogas in Kenya for the idea of using coffee cans as stoves. Thank you, Dominic, for that, and we will spread your light around the world. We've been using paint cans also and Nido cans, but it works very nicely even in a normal kitchen. So much more efficient than this stupid electric range which uses so much electricity and then leads us to blunder into using coal and oil and nuclear power. This is much better.